Almost 10 years ago, Sony released the PlayStation 4 firmware version 3.0 in 2015. This update added one of the best features to the 8th generation when it enabled the ability for gamers to broadcast themselves to YouTube or Twitch while utilizing the DualShock's built-in mic and a PlayStation camera to provide a very convenient way to share live content with your fans. When you think about sequels to video games or an update to your favorite app, you expect that the added time allowed to improve upon what was already an enjoyable experience would result in improved stability, more features, and general quality of life improvements. Things like that. 2026, these expectations can mean the difference between consumers dropping hundreds of dollars on your product or choosing a competitor's product instead. In the video game industry, consumers have options on where they can choose to invest their time and their money. And when they spot anything that is anti-consumer, they're not going to hesitate to pack up and see how life is on the other side. Better or for worse, you're going to speak with their wallets. So when it comes to a gaming platform like PlayStation, you'd expect that they'd be able to deliver cutting-edge technology and software with the next generation consoles, without cutting any features or making the overall experience worse for any reason. Well, with the PlayStation 5 being out a few years now, I feel it's safe to assume that the subject of this video will not be something that Sony improves upon anytime soon. Talking about the streaming features built into the PlayStation firmware that allow you to stream gameplay from your console to your YouTube or Twitch channel. How Sony completely ruined the experience when jumping from the PlayStation 4 to the PlayStation 5. Almost 13 years ago, on February 20th, 2013, when Sony revealed the PlayStation 4 in front of a packed theater in New York City, they made sure to emphasize and highlight the new console's sharing features by showing off the share button on the DualShock 4 early and often. They knew that this feature was going to be a selling point for many of us aspiring creators and made it an effort to talk about it often in every interview or press tour that I can remember watching at the time. This really was the big feature of the 8th generation, and I can't stress that enough. Both Xbox and Sony knew that this generation was lacking an earth-shattering jump, like going online or going from standard def to high def. So they made all the changes to their iconic controller layouts and added a dedicated share button for the first time. Then again, Sony got handed the generation when President of Microsoft Interactive Entertainment Business, Don Matrick, got on stage and talked about
television,
TV,
TV,
television.
Before setting out on his media tour that crushed Microsoft's reputation faster than Elon Musk throwing up Nazi slogans at a Trump rally. Maybe Sony just never felt like there was much of a threat once the dust settled from one of the most legendary public beatdowns the company has ever taken. They just felt no pressure to invest any more into this feature, like the generation was going to depend on it. So let's go ahead and come on inside the Apple Vision Pro here, and I can show you what I'm talking all about. Alright, so let's take a look at some footage of a PlayStation 4 streaming directly to YouTube. This is going to be some footage from one of my friend Ben Rye's YouTube channel. I'll leave the link in the description, and you can go ahead and give him a like, follow, all the good YouTube stuff, because he's a great creator. He definitely deserves you to take a look at his stuff. But he's playing Mr. Gimmick on a PlayStation 4 here, and it was streamed directly to YouTube. If you look at the layout, right here, available at all time is how long he's been playing. So if you've got a time that you need to stop, or you just only want to stream a certain game for a certain amount of time, it's always running up there. You can always see how long you've been on there. great thing to always have on the interface. Gameplay is nice and big, centered, with a little message down at the bottom. I mean, hard to find anything about this layout when it comes to the actual gameplay that you could even complain about with that. Sure, it's not full screen, but if you look over here, lets him know that he is broadcasting still. He's using his camera and a microphone. And right now there's 3 people watching, and there's been a total of 18 comments. The chat stays on screen at all times. For a very first attempt at a streaming feature built into a PlayStation console, it's almost impossible to find something to be mad at. The only thing that I would suggest, we'll get into in just a little bit here, would be a little bit of customization so that everybody's stream doesn't always look the same. That's kind of a really popular thing, you know, with like sound effects and overlays and things like that. It really does help make your stream kind of stand out from a competitor's. But again, like I said, for PlayStation 4 and the very first time this feature was ever implemented into a gaming console, I have nothing. Even Darth Vader wouldn't choke somebody out for producing such a feature. So overall, I'd give this 4.5 stars as a great start to streaming directly to YouTube from a PlayStation 4. We come over here. This is my stream where I was streaming Assassin's Creed Shadows. Go ahead. Thought I'd be able to start it like that. But as you see, the chat comes up. You can't even read it all, and then it's gone. And that's it. There's no way to call it back up. You can't press the share button and see it again or anything like that. It is just gone. You better have another device, you know, with the chat coming up, like your phone or a tablet or a different computer next to you, like I did in this video. And look at that. You can't even read that whole comment. Max took all the time to write that out, and I couldn't even read it if I didn't have my phone sitting right next to me. Being able to adjust the size of your webcam window, I like that idea, but ultimately it doesn't really do a whole lot. That's not really changing anything when it comes to adding a feature to this, because it works just fine up here in the corner with the chat directly underneath of it. If somebody's wanting to interact with you like on PS4 here, they can clearly see your webcam and then the chat, or you could focus on the game. It's really just that easy. I don't understand why they couldn't implement a feature that allows you to at least call the chat back up or pause the game and have a dedicated, you know, section that has streaming options along with the chat history. But I do want to point out Ben's channel. Go ahead and kind of give him his shout out. That's the link. That's his channel name. He's got over 80 platinum PlayStation Network trophies. So if you really like watching somebody go after the hard ones and do some really cool stuff with you know, achievements, trophies. He's also into retro achievements on RetroArch. So just remember that Ben's a great guy. You guys should go give his channel a look after this video. So in my opinion, the only thing Sony needed to do with this feature was give it more options. You know, allow you to customize the stream with graphics or overlays and sound bites, things that make your stream kind of stand out. This isn't anything earth-shattering in 2026. And it's just keeping up with modern standards like Streamlabs or OBS. Instead, they did the opposite and made this feature less useful than it was in the previous generation, while seeming to give up on the concept of streaming from the device altogether. The reason I like this feature is that using a capture card requires a lot more setup and proximity to a Mac or a PC that will actually be doing the streaming to YouTube. It's not impossible to set this stuff up, even for a guy like me that pretends to know more about tech than he actually does. But it is so much easier to stream directly from the device, especially if you're not playing at home or in your usual gaming space, like a hotel or maybe an Airbnb. We're 3 years into the 9th generation, and it looks like Microsoft is already looking ahead to the 10th, while Sony seems to be coasting to an easy victory. Though I don't expect any major changes to be coming to this feature anytime soon. Anyway, thanks for watching the video, and let me know in the comments if you think Sony messed this all up, or if I'm wrong, and all you want to see is the gameplay on the screen anyway. Thanks for watching, and I hope you'll give it a like and maybe click on that subscribe button if you're new to the channel. See you in the next one.